Breaking news just coming in after big parliament speech. Rahul Gandhi honors soldiers. Rahul to inaugurate Amar Jawan Jyoti in Chhattisgarh. The event is in the wake of Amar Jawan Jyoti spat at the India Gate. After that speech in the parliament, Rahul Gandhi all set for this particular inauguration. After the big parliament speech, Rahul honors soldiers. Rahul to inaugurate Amar Jawan Jyoti. This is going to happen in Chhattisgarh. Rahul's event in the wake of Amar Jawan Jyoti spat at the India Gate. We'll get you more details in just about a bit. Shreya is now joining us live for the very latest. Supriya is joining us for the very latest. Supriya, if you could walk our viewers through the Amar Jawan Jyoti row, and on the back of all of this and the parliament speech that we saw, Rahul Gandhi is now all set to honor the soldiers and go ahead and inaugurate Amar Jawan Jyoti in Chhattisgarh. But give us a context of the entire row, the spat at India Gate.
Well, as far as the Congress party is concerned, ever since the Amar Jawan Jyoti in Delhi was extinguished, it was merged with that at the National Memorial. The Congress party former President Rahul Gandhi had declared then only that they will reignite this Amar Jawan Jyoti, and taking a clue from there, the Chhattisgarh government announced that they are going to build Amar Jawan Jyoti in Chhattisgarh in Raipur, and today Rahul Gandhi is going to go there and lay the foundation. Apart from that, he's going to also lay the foundation of a host of other projects which are going to come up in Chhattisgarh. We are also hearing that there can be an address to the workers, to the people in Chhattisgarh by Rahul Gandhi, and what he left yesterday at is going at the parliament, where he left. From there he's going to pick up and again try to corner the government on issues like unemployment, that of price rise, and also that of the tension at the China border with India. So this is what we are hearing from the sources. Also, as far as this entire strategy is concerned, Rahul Gandhi yesterday in parliament cornered the government on the issue of unemployment, on the issue of that of the price rise, as well as that of the federal, the union of states context. He mentioned that as to how everybody from across the country has to bring in together, and the government has to do that. They have to reach out to all these states. So this is the key points that Rahul Gandhi yesterday raised in his speech in the parliament last evening, is the line that the oppositions as well as Congress party will be taking and going for the campaign which is taking place in the 5 assembly states, is what the sources have informed us. Main key point is that of the unemployment as well as that of the price rise. Also, the way...
All right, leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us, Supriya, with the very latest details. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi attacked the Modi government on foreign affairs, on unemployment and Pegasus in a speech during the motion of thanks to the president's address in Lok Sabha on Wednesday. His speech has now triggered a political face-off, with External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar even giving Rahul Gandhi what he called history lessons. USA has also said that they will not endorse Rahul's comment on China-Pakistan nexus. Here is a complete report.
Fireworks erupted in Parliament when Rahul Gandhi took on Narendra Modi government on Wednesday. The Parliament showdown took place during the debate on President's address on government policies. The Congress MP tore into the government on a range of issues. His biggest charge: the Prime Minister was ruling like a king.
Now that idea of a king has come back. That there is a king, a Shahin Shah, a ruler of rulers. It is a partnership. It is not a kingdom. Remember that. No matter what fantasies you might have, you will never ever rule over the people of the states of India.
To press his point, Rahul shared an anecdote. The Congress MP alleged that a group of Manipur politicians were asked to remove their shoes before meeting Home Minister Amit Shah. He sought Home Minister's apology over the incident.
Some political leader, I'm not going to name, came to me from Manipur. He said, Rahulji, a delegation of Manipuris, political leaders, senior leaders went to see the Home Minister. Outside his house, we were told to take off our shoes. And when we went inside his room, we found that the Home Minister was wearing his chappals.
Sharpening his attack on Modi government, Rahul raked up Pegasus in his speech, calling the alleged Snoopgate an attack on institutional framework.
When you apply Pegasus on an Indian politician, when the Prime Minister personally goes to Israel and authorizes the use of Pegasus in India, he is attacking the people of Tamil Nadu, he is attacking the people of Assam, he is attacking the people of Kerala, he is attacking the people of Bengal.
The Congress MP's attacks evoked a strong reaction from the BJP. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma slammed Rahul, saying the leader who fed his dog and political leaders from the northeast the same biscuit should not speak on decency. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi called Rahul a confused person, unaware of history. With explosive showdowns in Parliament marking the budget session, will political interest take precedence over real issues yet again? Bureau Report, India Today.
That we have made a massive blunder.
Breaking news just coming in. Posing at Vaishno Devi, Sidhu pressures his party. He has now gone to Bhairav Ghati. His chopper is unlikely to take off from Sanji Chhat as it has been raining very heavily since this morning. There's a dense fog as well. He's likely to return to Katra from Bhavan and then to Amritsar later today. That's the latest coming in at the moment. We'll get you a reporter to bring you up to speed with the very latest on this. But posing at Vaishno Devi, there you go. You can see that image of Navjot Singh Sidhu at Vaishno Devi as well. He's now pressurizing his party. He's now gone to Bhairav Ghati. His chopper is unlikely now to take off from Sanji Chhat as it's been raining very heavily since early morning. There's also dense fog and he's likely to return to Katra from Bhavan and then head to Amritsar later today. Missing Sidhu throwing Congress into a tizzy right there. Sulking Sidhu gives party more sleepless nights. That's the breaking news coming in. Let's get you Sunil Ji, who's joining us live for the very latest on this. Sunil Ji, he's gone to Bhairav Ghati. His chopper likely to take off as well. The weather condition not auguring well for him. But the crux of the story is that he's sulking and he's giving more sleepless nights to the Congress party ahead of the elections.
Absolutely, Cheti. Navjot Singh Sidhu is right now arm twisting his party, and this comes in the middle of a tussle which is going on between Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi and the Punjab Pradesh Congress Chief Navjot Singh Sidhu. Remember, Sidhu was busy with electioneering. There were many election-related programs in Amritsar yesterday, but all of a sudden, cancelling all his election-related programs, he came to Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine. Although he has been coming to the shrine quite often, but since he was busy campaigning and all of a sudden he reached here, this created a controversy because we all know that right now the Congress party is trying to shortlist names for its possible chief ministerial faces, and one of them is Charanjit Singh Channi and the other one is Navjot Singh Sidhu. Both are trying to project themselves as the chief ministerial candidate, although Charanjit Singh Channi seems to have an edge, and this is what Navjot Singh Sidhu has realized, and that is why the sulking Sidhu left Amritsar yesterday and he reached Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine. He was there during the night, and in the morning he was scheduled to reach Katra from Bhavan by chopper. But since it has been raining very heavily since early morning, so he is going to take a battery car. That's what we are learning from our sources. And as you can see that it's raining very heavily in Katra here since early morning. But clearly the battle of Punjab is intensifying and there is infighting going on within the Congress, and it seems that Navjot Singh Sidhu is trying to resort to pressure tactics on his party. He has chief ministerial ambitions and he has quite often revealed it in the public domain also, but the party, whether picks him as its chief ministerial candidate or not, it remains to be seen. But Charanjit Singh Channi seems to be having an edge over Navjot Singh Sidhu in Punjab, as far as Punjab's chief ministerial candidate is concerned of Congress party.
Well, that could be the choice of the Congress High Command the choice of the Congress High Command. But now what we are hearing is that Punjab is also rather the Congress party is also likely to go the Aam Aadmi Party route and let the people decide who the chief ministerial face will be.
Absolutely, Cheti. Yesterday we learned that the Congress party was trying to seek opinion of the people as far as their chief ministerial face in Punjab is concerned. But Sidhu seems to have realized that the Congress party is somehow making up their mind on Charanjit Singh Channi. And Sidhu has been nursing chief ministerial ambitions for a long time. And the moment he realized that Congress party may be considering Channi over him, he left Amritsar in the middle of his campaign and he reached here at Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine. Although he has not specified that why he cancelled his election-related programs all of a sudden, but it's clear that he is resorting to arm-twisting tactics on his party.
All right, leave it at that. Thanks, Sunilji, for joining us with the very latest details. The battle for Punjab, as you can already see, has hit top gear. Now you've got Bikram Majithia also accepting Navjot Singh Sidhu's challenge to fight only from Amritsar East constituency. Majithia gives up Majithia to his wife, who is going to be fighting from that particular seat. Here's a report.
The fight between arch rivals Navjot Singh Sidhu and Bikram Majithia just got more fierce. The Akali Dal leader has declared he will contest elections from just one seat, Amritsar East, giving up his family bastion, Majitha, and taking Sidhu's dare head-on. Sidhu has earlier challenged Majithia to fight from just one seat, that is against him.
ਜੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਹੀ ਦਮ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਹੀ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਹੈ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਛੱਡ ਮਜੀਠਾ ਤੇ ਆ ਕੱਲਾ ਲੜ ਕੱਲੀ ਸੀਟ ਤੇ ਲੜਨਾ ਲੜ ਹੈ ਦਮ ਇਹ ਗੰਦ ਪਾਉਣ ਆਏ ਆ
I am committed because the people of this area wanted me to fight. I am honoring their wishes. The people will so decide. I have no egos like him.
Replacing Bikram Majithia from the Majitha constituency will be his wife Ganeef Kaur. Majithia, who has been granted protection from arrest by the Supreme Court till February 23rd in connection with a drugs case, faces an uphill task in Amritsar East. The Akali Dal has never fought elections from Amritsar East. The constituency has always been a direct fight between the Congress and the former Akali ally, the BJP. The Congress dominated with more than 50% votes in 4 out of the last 5 elections since 2009. In 2017, Sidhu won 60% of total votes. BJP's Rakesh Kumar Hani was able to get only 17.7% votes, while Aam Aadmi Party got 14.8% votes. The fight for Amritsar East will be the most keenly watched battles of Punjab. Sidhu has been targeting Majithia over alleged links to drugs mafia since his days in the BJP, even when they were allies. These elections are do or die for both. While Sidhu in the race for Chief Minister's job, for Majithia, his political future is at stake. Bureau Report, India Today.
For corruption.
It's going to be action-packed Thursday in political Pradesh as heavyweights are all set to campaign in the western UP ahead of assembly polls. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will hold 2 public meetings in Anup Shahar and Dubai, followed by a door-to-door campaign in Loni. Meanwhile, Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi will also interact with the voters of Anup Shahar and Siana ahead of the polls. Samajwadi's Akhilesh Yadav and RLD Chief Jayant Chaudhary are set to campaign in Bulandshahr. The duo will also be seeking votes in Sanaya, Khurja, Secunderabad, Anupshahr and Noida. BSP Supremo Mayawati will hold her second election campaign in Ghaziabad's Kavinagar. AIMIM Chief Asaduddin Owaisi will also be visiting Uttar Pradesh's Meerut to conduct a Jan Sabha as well as a door-to-door campaign interacting with the people. Western UP, one of the most politically sensitive and highly polarized areas, will vote in the initial phase of the assembly election on Feb 10. And with less than 10 days to go for the UP polls, the war of words intensifies between BJP's Yogi Adityanath and Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav. Chief Minister Yogi takes UP ke ladke jibe at Akhilesh Yadav and Jayant Chaudhary. Samajwadi Party Chief, of course, counters, says Jinnah will be defeated and Ghana will win in UP. Our next report tells you more.
They were the original UP ke ladke. Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh Yadav joined hands to take on BJP in 2014, but the campaign flopped. And this time UP ke ladke are back, but with a twist. With less than 10 days to go for UP polls, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has taunted the Akhilesh Jayant Jodi by branding them UP ke ladke.
ये दो लड़कों की जोड़ी 2017 में भी बनी थी, 2014 में भी बनी थी। 2017 में प्रदेश की जनता ने एक दिल्ली में रहने वाले और एक लखनऊ में रहने वाले दोनों जोड़ी को कहा था कि तुम इस लायक हो ही नहीं भाई।
Back in the day, when UP ke ladke Akhilesh and Rahul came together, it failed to generate any buzz. Yogi Adityanath says that UP ke ladke 2.0 won't be any different.
ये कवायद के दिन तक भी तुम्हारी जो है, कयामत के दिन तक भी तुम्हारा ये सपना साकार नहीं होने वाला है, ये मान करके चल लो। लेकिन ये देख लो, 10 मार्च के बाद ये पूरी गर्मी शांत करवा देंगे।
Now the bitter rivalry from past has once again come back into the focus, but with a new face. Speaking exclusively to India Today, Akhilesh Yadav trained guns on Yogi Adityanath.
उत्तर प्रदेश को डबल इंजन की सरकार ने बर्बाद कर दिया। शिक्षा का क्षेत्र बर्बाद है, रोजगार है नहीं, तो गर्मी तो स्वाभाविक आएगी। जो खिसियाता है, जिसके पास जवाब नहीं है, वो गर्म होता है। गर्म वो नहीं होता है जिसके पास जवाब हो।
Jayant Chaudhary too did not pull any punches to target UP Chief Minister.
लोग उत्तेजित हैं, लोगों का अपमान आप नहीं कर सकते। हाथरस की घटना लोगों को याद है, जिस तरह से लाठियां चलाई गई वो याद है। किसानों का आंदोलन इतने लंबे समय चला, आपने वो जो कील बिछाई, लखीमपुर में गाड़ी रौंद के चली गई, वो सबको याद है।
Will this new brand of UP ke ladke be able to do what old alliance could not? We will know on 10th of March. Bureau Report, India Today.
And RLD Chief Jayant Chaudhary has sparked controversy with a sexist jibe, speaking on the invite from the Bharatiya Janata Party to join the Saffron Party. Jayant said that he does not want them to become a Hema Malini. Here's a report.
इसको तो अमित शाह ने कह दिया, योगेश आजा, तेरा हेमा मालिनी बना दूंगा। और ना जाने कैसी कैसी बातें मेरे लिए भी कह रहे हैं। कोई प्यार नहीं, कोई लगाव नहीं हमारे लिए।
7 साल में
और मैं कह रहा हूँ, मुझे खुश करके क्या मिल जाएगा? मुझे तो नहीं बनना हेमा मालिनी।
Actor politician Hema Malini dragged into the Uttar Pradesh Dangal yet again. This time by RLD Chief Jayant Chaudhary. A crude sexist jibe naming Hema to target Home Minister Amit Shah. The RLD chief accused Amit Shah of poaching his party men by promising them Hema Malini like perks. He added that he has no intention of taking Shah's offer and turning into another Hema Malini.
अमित शाह ने कह दिया, योगेश आजा, तेरा हेमा मालिनी बना दूंगा। और ना जाने कैसी कैसी बातें मेरे लिए भी कह रहे हैं। कोई प्यार नहीं, कोई लगाव नहीं हमारे लिए।
7 साल में
और मैं कह रहा हूँ, मुझे खुश करके क्या मिल जाएगा? मुझे तो नहीं बनना हेमा मालिनी।
Jayant also hit out at the BJP over Lakhimpur Kheri violence and sought the resignation of Union Minister Ajay Kumar Teni.
वो 700 किसानों परिवारों के लिए क्या किया आपने? टेनी जी मंत्री क्यों बने बैठे हैं? रोज जो है सुबह उठते हैं और नफरत घोलने का काम शुरू कर देते हैं और कोई काम नहीं है.
But it was the RLD chief's Hema Malini jibe which has come under strong attack from the BJP, which has asked Jayant to apologize for what they call a sexist mindset.
देखिए ऐसा है, जयंत चौधरी फ्रस्ट्रेशन के में हैं क्योंकि हेमा मालिनी का नाम इसलिए ले रहे हैं. एक बार हेमा मालिनी से हार गए, अब गए वो बागपत में डॉक्टर सत्यपाल सिंह से हार गए और उनके पिताजी वहाँ हार गए मुजफ्फरनगर में. वो अंडर फ्रस्ट्रेशन हैं. जहाँ तक किसानों का सवाल है, किसानों के लिए जितना बीजेपी ने किया इतना किसी पार्टी ने किया ही नहीं है.
मुझे लगता है कि किसी भी महिला के संदर्भ में उनको यह शब्द नहीं बोलना चाहिए. वह चौधरी चरण सिंह जी के पोते हैं जो आर्य समाज के मानने वाले थे और एक आदर्श नेता थे. जिस प्रकार की स्थिति उन्होंने क्रिएट किया है उसे सारे महिलाओं का उन्होंने अपमान किया है और इसके लिए सारे महिलाओं से उनको क्षमा मांगनी चाहिए.
The BJP is locked in a fight with the RLD Samajwadi Party alliance for Jat votes in UP, leading to a huge war of words.
न्योता उन्होंने बड़ा फीका दिया है क्योंकि 5 साल में उन्होंने किसानों के लिए कोई काम नहीं किया. अभी कल परसों ही इलाहाबाद में जिस तरह का बल प्रयोग बिहार में और यूपी में नौजवानों पे हुआ, तो वो कैसे सोच सकते हैं कि इस माहौल में कोई उनके साथ हाथ मिलाना चाहेगा.
With Samad Srivastav in Lucknow, Bureau Report, India Today.
Even as full fireworks continue over Rahul Gandhi's speech in the Lok Sabha, the US has now slammed the Congress leader. Answering a question on Rahul Gandhi's China-Pakistan remark in the Lok Sabha, the US Department of State spokesperson said that US would not endorse remarks made by the Congress leader. Ned Price's remarks come after Rahul Gandhi suggested that India and Pakistan's relationship is closer than ever because of Prime Minister's ineffective policies. Just yesterday, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar offered a strong rebuttal to Rahul Gandhi's remarks on India's foreign policy and schooled the Congress leader with what he called history lessons for Rahul. In a series of tweets, S. Jaishankar posted a timeline of events between China and Pakistan.
I will leave it to the Pakistanis and the PRC to speak to their relationship. I certainly would not endorse those remarks.
All right, we're cutting across to what Rahul Gandhi said in the Lok Sabha yesterday on Modi government's role in bringing China and Pakistan together. Here's a look.
The single biggest strategic goal of India's foreign policy has been to keep Pakistan and China separate. This is fundamental for India. And what you have done is you have brought them together. Today, do not be under any illusion. Do not underestimate the force that is standing in front of you. Do not underestimate the power that stands in front of us. Do not underestimate it. You have brought Pakistan and China together, and this is the single biggest crime that you could commit against the people of India.
Congress MP Rahul Gandhi attacked the Modi government on foreign affairs, unemployment and Pegasus in a speech during the motion of thanks to President's address in Lok Sabha on Wednesday. His speech has now triggered a political face-off, with External Affairs Minister Jaishankar even giving Rahul Gandhi what he called history lessons. The US has also said that they will not endorse Rahul's comment on China-Pakistan nexus. Here's a complete report.
Fireworks erupted in Parliament when Rahul Gandhi took on Narendra Modi government on Wednesday. The Parliament showdown took place during the debate on President's address on government policies. The Congress MP tore into the government on a range of issues. His biggest charge, the Prime Minister was ruling like a king.
Now that idea of a king has come back. That there is a king, a Shahin Shah, a ruler of rulers. It is a partnership. It is not a kingdom. Remember that. No matter what fantasies you might have, you will never ever rule over the people of the states of India.
To press his point, Rahul shared an anecdote. The Congress MP alleged that a group of Manipur politicians were asked to remove their shoes before meeting Home Minister Amit Shah. He sought Home Minister's apology over the incident.
Some political leader, I'm not going to name, came to me from Manipur. He said, Rahulji, a delegation of Manipuris, political leaders, senior leaders went to see the Home Minister. Outside his house, we were told to take off our shoes. And when we went inside his room, we found that the Home Minister was wearing his chappals.
Sharpening his attack on Modi government, Rahul raked up Pegasus in his speech, calling the alleged Snoopgate an attack on institutional framework.
When you apply Pegasus on an Indian politician, when the Prime Minister personally goes to Israel and authorizes the use of Pegasus in India, he is attacking the people of Tamil Nadu, he is attacking the people of Assam, he is attacking the people of Kerala, he is attacking the people of Bengal.
The Congress MP's attacks evoked a strong reaction from the BJP. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma slammed Rahul, saying the leader who fed his dog and political leaders from the northeast the same biscuit should not speak on decency. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi called Rahul a confused person, unaware of history. With explosive showdowns in Parliament marking the budget session, will political interest take precedence over real issues yet again? Bureau Report, India Today.
That we have made a massive blunder.
Geeta Mohan is now joining us for the very latest on this story. Geeta, a series of attacks coming in from Congress MP Rahul Gandhi. Of course, the BJP is not taking it sitting down, with S. Jaishankar's retort coming in, several BJP leaders also retorting. But just put this story into perspective and all the attacks also into perspective, because the BJP claims that they are not historically accurate.
Well, the fact of the matter is that there is a reason why China-Pakistan relations are called all-weather friendship. It is because irrespective of which government came to power where, China has always been by the side of Pakistan, and Pakistan has always endorsed all decisions of China. That cannot, and the major projects that External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar spelled out yesterday in his tweet did take place during the previous regimes. And therefore, the statement is not absolutely correct. Having said that, there could be policy decisions that any opposition leader has a right to question. But the countries in question over here, United States of America, has come out saying that they do not endorse Rahul Gandhi's statement. Why? Because at this point in time, at this juncture, India is playing a critical role in the region. And to counter China, India is important. And India has done enough to counter China with the United States of America. What the fallout of that is going to be is not as important as the fact that one needs to contain an aggressive Beijing. And that's the reason why India's policies are crucial in ensuring that China's aggression in the region does not grow. And again, is the reason why the United States of America says they do not endorse that Modi government's foreign policy has indeed brought China and Pakistan closer than ever before. They were quite close. They've always endorsed each other. They've always stood by each other, and they've never criticized each other in any multilateral or international fora.
All right, leave it at that. Thanks, Geeta, for joining us with those details right there. China's Galwan lie exposed once again. An Australian report has claimed that People's Liberation Army lost at least 9 times more soldiers than its official count of 4 in the Galwan 2020 clash. According to new report, at least 38 PLA troops drowned while crossing a fast-flowing sub-zero river in darkness. The research is prepared by a group of social media researchers, is a product of a year-long investigation. The Galwan Valley clash was the deadliest confrontation between India and China in over 4 decades. China repeatedly refused to disclose its total casualties, but in February last year, it announced posthumous medals to 4 of its soldiers who died in the Galwan clash. Abhishek Bala now joins us for the latest. Abhishek, not a surprise coming in there that China lied and the lies tend to be exposed again.
Well, Chetty, not the first report to this effect that has come out that China has not been transparent about the casualties on their side as far as the Galwan clash of June 2020 is concerned. Even though the official figure put out by China is 4, time and again we've had these reports that suggest that 30 to 40 Chinese PLA soldiers were killed in that hand-to-hand combat clash that took place. Also the fact that, it took China almost 8 months after the clash to, for the first time, come out and say that they had lost 4 soldiers. This is when they announced gallantry medals to their men. So it clearly shows that, as far as China was concerned, they've not been transparent about it. On the other hand, we in India announced the 20 deaths on the same day that the clash took place, and things had been very clear. Although the Indian army or the Indian government hasn't spoken about the casualties on the Chinese side, because they've maintained that this is something that China needs to, come out clean on. But there are internal Indian army reports that suggest that there were several soldiers of the Chinese PLA who were badly injured and they were being taken back on stretchers, clearly suggesting that there were several casualties on the Chinese side as well.
All right, thanks Abhishek for joining us with the latest details right there. Now, days after China handed over abducted Arunachal teen to the Indian Army, 17-year-old Miram Taron narrated his shocking ordeal. He was tortured, beaten up and given electric shocks in the Chinese camp. Meanwhile, China's state-affiliated media has come out with yet another propaganda flaunting a PLA regiment commander who was injured during the Galwan Valley skirmish as a torchbearer in Beijing 2022 Winter Olympic torch relay. Here's a report.
Abducted, handcuffed and tortured. Days after returning home from China's trap, Arunachal teen narrates his ordeal. 17-year-old Miram Taron was out in jungle with his friends hunting on January 18 when Chinese troops caught him. He was tortured, given electric shocks and beaten up in Chinese custody. The horror story sent shockwaves across the nation.
लगभग 15 मिनट ऐसा कुछ लगा होगा, इतना तो अंदर वापस हमको घेरे से लेके चला गया। दूसरा बात लात मारने का बात।
Miram was handed over to his family by the Indian Army after being in Chinese custody for 9 days.
ये ह्यूमन वायलेशंस है, एन इनह्यूमन एक्ट है बाय द PLA। इसको हम लोग टेकअप करेंगे, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया और आर्मी इसको प्लेग मीटिंग में टेकअप करना चाहिए।
The Indian Army had contacted the Chinese People's Liberation Army through a hotline and asked them to send Miram back following the border protocol.
सरकार जो है हमारे बॉर्डर पर रोड नहीं बनाया, हमारे गांव के लोग वहां से आ रहे हैं टाउन में। ERO की जो गति है ना, स्नेल की तरह है। शायद उन लोगों का आजकल काम करने का तरीका पता नहीं क्या हुआ है, बहुत धीमा चल रहा है।
Meanwhile, the Chinese propaganda machinery is back at work. Chinese state-affiliated media has come out with yet another Galwan propaganda. It says, Kui Fabao, a PLA regiment commander who sustained a head injury during Galwan skirmish, is now a torchbearer for Beijing Winter Olympics 2022 torch relay.
It's all part of the Chinese mind game, a psychological warfare, a propaganda trying to legitimize their actions, and it's evident that the Chinese are not at all serious in resolving the border conflict.
The Chinese army and leadership have been questioned on Chinese social media about the Chinese army fatalities in Galwan amidst reports that Beijing continues to hide facts on fatalities. Using a Chinese regimental commander as a Winter Olympics torchbearer, though a blatant politicization of Olympics appears to be a desperate Chinese attempt to soothe angry voices on Chinese social media. Bureau Report, India Today.
The debate over hijab has been reignited after there were protests in some colleges in Karnataka. In the latest, in defiance of the hijab-wearing students, a student group in Shivamogga wore saffron robes. Here are the details.
The debate over wearing hijab inside educational institutions heats up in Karnataka. After Udupi and Kundapura, now students in Bhadravati in Shimoga district came out in defiance, wearing saffron robes as counter-protest. Students of Sir M.V. Government College protested against students wearing hijab inside classrooms, saying if hijab is allowed inside educational institutions, then saffron robes too must be permitted. Images came in showing a dozen students wearing saffron robes as symbolic counter-protest. This comes just days after few female students at the Udupi Government Girls PU College were categorically told that those wearing hijab will not be allowed inside classrooms. Soon after the announcement was made, one of the hijabi students moved a petition with the Karnataka High Court seeking relief, calling it a fundamental right under Article 14 and 25 of the Indian Constitution. Article 14 guarantees right to equality, while Article 25 gives freedom of religion to all persons in India. The petition further read, the Constitution of India guarantees the freedom of conscience and the right to profess, practice and propagate religion while reserving the state's rights to interfere with the religious matter only if it involves an issue relating to public order, morality and health. At least 8 students at the Udupi Government Girls PU College have been barred from attending classes wearing hijab after Karnataka government gave out clear orders strictly banning hijab inside classrooms. In a bid to persuade debarred students, Udupi BJP MLA Raghupati Bhatt, who heads the Development Monitoring Committee at the Udupi College, reiterated that students who don't want to shun the hijab in class must not come to college and spoil the academic environment. One of the protesting students retaliated on her social media platform saying, and I quote, "The college is being run on the tax money that we gave to the government. There is no necessity for anyone's interference. Our judicious fight can't be sidelined by threats." Soon after the issue kicked up a storm, the state government has now formed an expert committee to resolve the matter and has urged for status quo until a solution is found. Meanwhile, security has been beefed up around the Udupi College in question as the matter has now attracted global attention. Nabila Jamal for India Today.